Hi there, how's everyone doing? Today I will expose the new Blackpink MV Pink Venom. I will also talk about why I do think that my subscribers and viewers should learn about symbolism and the occult, and how it can help you to have a clear understanding of the world that we live in. This is a special message I want to deliver to my subscribers and to everyone watching this video, so definitely stick to the end of this video to get the whole message. I don't want to sound harsh on you guys, but if I take the time to make these videos in their entirety, I'd preferably want that you watch the video from start to end. I know that in today's society and with the advent of social medias such as TikTok, most of the people have very short attention span, so, a word to the wise. Anyway guys, let's begin. Let me ask you a question. Here in this image, what do you see? And here? Can you see it? Yes, either way you're right. This image represents the fangs of a snake, but when it is reversed, it definitely can symbolize devil horns, and you should not be surprised, cause this MV is probably the most satanic of all Blackpink MVs, mark my word. These photos and concepts teaser contain symbols of MKUltra. I already talked about the shattering mirror or glass, which represents the fragmentation of the alter ego in multiple pieces. Once a split in the core personality occurs, which is represented by broken glass, an internal world can be created. Broken glass or broken mirrors also represents misfortune. This symbol was not placed here by accident, and it should already tell you how satanic and controlled these idols really are. It was also made this way to desensitize the public, and yes, I'm also telling the blinks that it is not artistic. It may seems like it, but it is not. MKUltra is all about brainwashing the masses, in order for the elites to establish a control over our mind. Project Bluebird and Artichoke were introduced before the MKUltra project, and their main goal was to provoke a state of amnesia and sleep deprivation to the victims with the use of LSD and other drugs, as well as electroshock. In this image, we can see people dressed in black robes. They seems to be captivated watching Jisub plays the kyakium, which is a Korean instrument. When watching closely we can see that they're also wearing virtual reality headsets. They're slowly but surely promoting the metaverse, which will be a virtual world completely controlled by the devil. This virtual reality technology is already here and will be put completely in place in the near future. They will try to replace our version of the internet, which is the Web 2.0, with the Web 3.0, which will basically make extensive use of the blockchain technology such as Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, and will also makes us interact with the internet in a totally different way. And by this means Satan will try to impose the mark of the beast to the masses. The mark of the beast will probably be linked to cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin. People will be captivated by these virtual worlds, abandoning the real world, which is the world created by God. Now you understand why it is stated that Satan wanted to take control of these virtual worlds, cause he wants to enslave the masses and bring forth the new world order and the new world religion. It will be probably possible to worship the image of the beast in these virtual worlds or metaverse. Moving on to this image, we can see Jenny dressed completely in red like a witch. This represents the whore of Babylon talked about in the book of Revelation. We can also see leopard prints on the dress. The dark occultists who run the entertainment industry utilize fashion as a means of occult communication to others in the know, indicating through symbolism the individuals they have under their control as literal sex slaves. Animal print clothing is employed for this method of communication, as it symbolizes the uninhibited or wild instincts brought out in the slave via Project Monarch's beta or sex kitten programming, and when triggered the slave will perform any action or sex act required by the handler. Beta is referred to as sexual programming. This programming eliminates all learned moral convictions and stimulates the primitive instinct, devoid of inhibitions. Cat alters may come out at this level. Known as kitten programming, it is the most visible kind of programming, as some female celebrities, models, actresses and singers have been subjected to this kind of programming. In popular culture, clothing with feline prints often denote kitten programming. Beta is the second Greek letter, and it represents the sexual models and sexual altars that the programmers are creating. The primitive part of the brain is involved in this type of programming. An early sexual abuse event will be used to anchor this programming. These sexual slaves will develop sexual abilities that are far beyond what the public is aware is even possible. They also receive the worst kind of abuse far beyond what most people's imagination can picture. Beta alters generally see themselves as cats. This form of mind control essentially destroys the sacred feminine within the female victim, turning them into nothing more than a piece of meat to be used and abused by the handler at any given time. The beast associated with the Whore of Babylon has the body of a leopard as shown in these images. The first mention of Babylon the Great can be found in the Book of Revelations in the Bible. Largely symbolic, Babylon the Great, also known as the Whore of Babylon, refers to both an evil place and a whorish woman. As a symbol, Babylon the Great represents anything that is tyrannical, evil, and treachery. She represents the end of times and is affiliated with the Antichrist. She is mysterious, and her origins and meaning are still debated. A more mainstream view today is to see the Whore of Babylon as a spirit or a force. It may be cultural, political, spiritual, or philosophical, but it is found in anything that is opposed to Christian teaching. In this scene, we can clearly see the horns at the front of the image and on the vehicle, but we can also see the fangs on the wall in the background. This again represents the as above so below duality, cause the fangs are basically looking like horns when reversed. The bird cage represents MK Ultra once again. I think that there is a link between this bird cage and the cage-like structure Jisoo was in at the beginning of the MV. The girls were also displayed in cages in the concept teaser videos. Across many belief systems and religions, the bird is symbolic of the soul. So a caged bird speaks to an unhealthy inner life or soul. Again, MK Ultra written all over this MV. This should always remind you that these idols are trapped. They sold their soul and now their soul is basically gone. I don't even know if they can go back. You should definitely pray for them. Next we have Lisa, who is doing the devil horns hand sign in a pyramid structure. There is a dead tree behind her, which represents the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, as you will see in a minute. This is the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil, which is widely represented as an apple. In this case, the apple is blackened, which is a direct reference to the book of Genesis. Pyramid devil horns hand sign, fruit of the knowledge of good and evil. It can't get more obvious than this. Did she took a bite out of that apple? Yes, she did. Like I said in my previous videos, these people are worshipped like gods and goddesses. And where are they leading all their followers? Yep, right into the lake of fire. Adam and Eve disobeyed God, and when you are idolizing these people, you are under the wrath of God and falling in the trap of Satan, the adversary or deceiver. Moving on to this scene, we have Rosie, who is doing the hidden eye symbol, which represents the all-seeing eye of Lucifer, which is also Satan. Take a look at the lyrics. Isn't it obvious that these girls sold their souls for the fame and fortune? The recognition that these people have doesn't come free. They all have to go through abuse and ritual to get where they are now. There is also black goo on her hand, which is completely demonic by the way, and linked to demonic possession and mind control. In this picture she's got a heart in her hand, which can also symbolize the soul. The soul is approximately and supposedly situated in the solar plexus of human beings in Eastern teachings. I think that the heart in this image represents her soul, which is dead judging by the demonic black goo surrounding it. Is this a way to tell us that these people are dead inside and that their soul vanished? In this scene, the four girls are in white or beige, and the dancers are in black. This symbolizes the black and white duality, which is a well-known symbol of Freemasonry and the occult. They are furthermore doing the devil horns hand sign, pointing down and up successively, which represents the as above so below once again. This is a direct reference to Lucifer, the light bearer or adversary. They are basically casting spells, and the fans will just keep saying that this is an artistic expression. In the following scene, we can see Jenny and Lisa in front of a liquor store. They're basically promoting drugs and alcohol to everyone watching the MV. This was not made by accident. They are sending messages to the subconscious minds of the masses. most people won't see this at first glance obviously, but there is also kids who are watching this MV, so do you really find this acceptable? In this next scene we're seeing the moon behind Jisoo. Are they paying homage to lunar deities? I'm asking this cause I saw something similar in a previous Blackpink MV, which was Kill This Love. In ancient times, people worshipped the sun or sun god, because they thought that it was the sun who brought life to earth, but when you think that, you forget that it was God who created the sun and the moon. They associated all these false deities to the sun and the moon throughout history. They created gods and goddesses in their image, which is pure blasphemy. The second commandment is thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them nor serve them. God knew that people would try to associate him to the sun and the moon. He actually tried to warn us in the Old Testament. In this scene we can see them dancing in front of deers or stag's statue, while doing the devil horns hand sign, horns again. Do you see how it is the same symbols over and over? And the MV would not be complete without the flashing of some frozen monarch butterfly, again MK Ultra written all over. As you can see, this MV was all about MK Ultra symbolism. I said earlier that you guys should learn symbolism and the occult. I said this because the symbolism is not just present in K-pop MVs but in all our society. The occult is a body of knowledge which is hidden from you by these dark occultists. They don't want us to wake up to what's really going on in this world. At the very bottom of the pyramid there is the truth, which is the foundation of everything. The truth is at the bottom cause it is unmovable. That's also why the element of earth is associated to truth. It is the bottom of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Above the truth, there is the occulted knowledge, which means hidden knowledge that have been kept from us by these controllers. It is the base layer which allow us to comprehend how and why the knowledge is applied in the next floor. It is associated with element of air, which represent the intellect. Above that we have the world control system, which is governed by the Freemasons. The Freemasons have in fact infiltrated all walks of life and are controlling our reality through the financial system, the corporations, the government and the media, which is at 99% controlled by them. That's why we're seeing so much symbolism in these movies and TV shows, as well as the American music industry and also K-pop. They also control the education system. This world control system represents the elements of water, which is likened to a tumultuous sea. This is the maritime law. At the very top of the pyramid there is the all-seeing eye, which is the eye of Lucifer, which is also called the light bearer, the adversary or Satan, which is represented by the element of fire. This is the force running our world. What I wanted to tell you is that K-pop is comprised in the media and the world control system, but it is just a part of the whole picture. I want to make a new series of video, which will be about explaining the occult symbolism in a more general sense, not just in K-pop. It is very important for you to understand that the symbolism I exposed in my channel over the years is not just in K-pop but in the whole media side of thing. In my videos, I didn't try to really explain the symbolism, but in my next series of videos, it will be explained in more details, so stay tuned for those. I will make the first video of the new series very soon. Also, I want to thank my best friend who helped me a lot for this video. Shout out to him. Anyway guys, thank you for watching today's video and stay tuned for the new series of video. Take care.